I can be happy out.
Oh, okay.
We still here, still standing. UPK, we never left the building. Commander General Yohana, you know. Whoa, check it out. Rolling to America. Seize everything and bring these crackers to their knees. I need everything and I do mean everything. I know they don't like us. Go ahead and try us. Don't make me call upon the Lord and put this earth on fire. I'm only getting better and I'm only getting higher. And you are getting weaker. That's why you cannot beat us. I know you do not like us. We don't like you neither. You win against a grain. You should be ashamed. You win against a king. Let's just call it treason. Can't wait for killing season. All that shit that you be preaching. Let me see if you believe it. They say they can't be touched. Well, I'm about to put my hands on them. No more missing nice guy. I gave that spirit up. Lord, give me strength so I can tear this city up. Babylon is falling, but it's just not fast enough. Angels with a nigga, so you niggas cannot touch. Ooh, this shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah. Said I pray they understand. I said I pray they understand. This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray they understand. Hey, I said I pray they understand.
They want me to bite my tongue, they don't like criticism. Can't say oppressors the devil, YouTube restricted niggas. But they can post bitches twerking, police killing niggas. You can rap about catching bodies and millions listen. Bitches rap about they box and children listen. You say you black and gay, to them you still a nigga. You chasing Susie and Becky, they Emmett Tiller niggas. You got the ones that compromise and you got field niggas. It's a real difference, it make me feel different. When I kick on my boots, tie up a Mitri, I know what we teach in that camp, nobody teaching. These devils telling lies without blinking. They ain't got the integrity, try to reach them. They say they conscious and they woke, but they sleepy. I ain't sparing nobody, I'm going in. It's a rap when I hop up on that podium.
This shit not adding up, fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Yeah. Said I pray they understand. I said I pray they understand. This shit not adding up. Fucking raise it up. Listen to them devils while you let them gas you up. Said I pray they understand. Hey, I said I pray they understand.
Shalom, Israel. You know what I'm saying? It's another Tuesday night class, brotherhood class. You know what I'm saying? We got a little technical difficulty. You know what I'm saying? We're a little late started tonight. Technical difficulty. I see we got also Dr. Rod checking in from Czech, Virginia. How about you? We got Atwal Dabara, Shalom, Yahweh Shema, the third by Shimon Shaz, checking in from the hour, Richmond, Virginia. You know what I mean? We got Tyler Rye, you know what I'm saying? Checking in, you know what I mean? Craig says, Tyler Rye, also 1,000 Tyler Rye, checking in from Czech, Virginia, Shalom Ka. You know what I'm saying? Shalom Yahweh. We got Atwal Raya. Checking in, you know, tonight as usual, the house monitored by some outside. Okay, we got the trooper Adam in the building, all the way from Greenville, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Snarly whole by trying to stop. You know, you got the brother Yanatani. Okay, I don't know where you checking in from, brother. I don't know where you checking in from, Yanatani. You know what I'm saying? You know, but the SWAT thing in class tonight, bro. You know what I'm saying? We got Trooper McQuarrie Island checking in, man, from the I as well, man. Richmond, Virginia, Shania, whole bunch of man. We probably have some more brothers and sisters checking in here. So, all right, brother, Yana Time coming on there from New York City. Oh yeah, brother Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you know. Rochester, Buffalo, you know, upstate New York. You know what I mean? And nevertheless, this is squad, good thing to see coming on in, but you know what I mean? Tonight, man, is the brotherhood class. We're gonna kind of like, you know, get right up into it. Almost a continuation a little bit, you know what I mean? You know, about leading up to holding your post, man. You know what I'm saying? This is the ISUPK select, you know what I mean? Started at 125th Street, man, under the command of General Yohana. You know what I'm saying? We come to bring a message, man, to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans only. This is an exclusive club. If you are not Black, Hispanic, or so-called Native American Indian, you know what I mean? You cannot be a part, you know what I mean, of this glorious organization. You understand me? You know, keep your ass up, slack, you're out there on the outside. Damn right. You know, Washington Heights. Okay. All right, brother. I see you represent. You know what I mean? All right, brother. Well, I see you, man. So, yeah, tonight, man, we just gonna be kind of like talking about holding your post. We're gonna jump right into it. You know, Tuesday night, another brotherhood class. You know what I'm saying? Nothing new to you all. You know, some of you veterans. You know what I mean? Been in here for a little while now. You know, just a little something, man, to keep us focused and to keep us encouraged. You know what I'm saying? You know, being in this truth, being in this hill. You know what I mean? That we all know that's in the truth. We know we in hell. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers and sisters out there on the outside, you know, they try to make hell seem okay. You know what I mean? And when I say that, they can feel the pressure. You know, they going through the pressure, you know, the hellish condition all the time. Some of us try to, you know, what I want to say, put a band-aid on being in hell by doing certain things, you know what I'm saying, to if they kind of fight against the bites and the things that we feel, man, living in this oppression, man, you know what I'm saying? Some people might be getting a little money, you know what I mean? They're able to take vacations, go on cruises, and sisters might be living a hot girl summer, you know what I mean? Brothers might be living a bad life and things of that nature, man. We kind of like try to put a coping on what it is that we were dealing with. Not only that, they're oblivious, right? To what's going on because of the Christian church. You think hell is what? A place you go to when you die. So if you think hell is the place that you go to when you die, you're not looking for hell to be right here on earth. You're not looking for hell to be a condition. You understand? You think about some Greek philosophy, you know what I mean? Dante's Inferno, a place you go when you die and you're burning in flames for eternity. Right? But let's not mistake it, man. This place, you know what I mean, that we are in, we see it's hell. You know what I mean? And the conditions here for most of us, that we are Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, are very hellish. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, very difficult. Okay? This is kind of a continuation from what I talked about the last time. We was in a book of Chronicles, talking about, you know, some of the kings and things of that nature, man, and how we ended up, you know, in certain places. We was talking about Manasseh. You know what I mean? And all the evil, wicked things that he did, man. You know, and a lot of these things, man, that our leaders did, we followed, you know, suit, right? And if you look at the history, man, it's kind of how we got to where we get today. So, you know, we kind of like start off in the book of Ezra, right? Which is right after the book of Chronicles. You know what I'm saying? And as a result of, you know, the kings, you know, doing the things that they were doing in the sin, you got to think the northern kingdom, man, was taken captive by the Assyrians, right? And removed from the land, removed from Samaria. There was another group of people that was put into Samaria. You understand? Christ talked to one of them. He said, "You don't know what you worship. We know what we worship, right? Because Christ knew that they were not the people of the land. That's why he told the disciples that when they go out, you know, they'll go into the land of Samaria. Why? Because he knew that the people that was in Samaria was not, you know, the chosen people of God, right? Okay. I believe today, you know, they might call themselves Ethiopian Jews and things of that nature, right? There was another group of people put within our land. And for the Northern Kingdom, we still was, you know, active in the Southern Kingdom. But we also went on, right? And he was taken captive, man, by King Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonians, right? So that leads us up, you know, to the book of Ezra, right? Now we're going to read what happened, you know, from our Babylonian captivity, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and jump right on into it. We got Trooper Ion in the house, man. Now, the whole box, you know, so it's going on, brother, checking in from Rice, Virginia. We got Officer 500 Yaga Dar checking in from Prince George, Virginia. Shalom, the whole box, you know, the whole show of the we got Outlaw Chicago checking in as well. The real of Spy Young, you know what I'm saying? She's checking in from Rice, Virginia as well. The Howard Shamari, the Howard Shah. You know, I hope all of you are doing well tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? It's another Tuesday night brotherhood class, all right? We're coming out of the book of Ezra, chapter 1, verse 1. Let's get it.
The book of Ezra, chapter 1, verse 1. Now, in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia.
Okay, now we got Cyrus, right? The king of Persia. Who are your Persians today? Anybody know? Who are your Persians today? Are you scholars out there, Bible scholars? Who are the Persians today? We'll get a few minutes. I'm going to get too long for time's sake, you know. Who are your Persians today? You know, anybody can answer, man. It's a free fall, you know. You know, it's a free fall. Ain't no right, ain't no wrong answer. You know what I mean? Where it is, technically the wrong answer, but you know, it's okay. You know, because that's how you get the right answer. You know what I mean? Iraq. Oh, you know what? That's a good, you know what I'm saying? As far as, brother, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you got the courage, you know what I'm saying? I'll put that in there, but that's not quite it. But it is, you know, close to that region, you know what I'm saying?
It's Iran, right?
Right.
Iran.
Yeah, Iran. That's who we fighting against right now. You know, the United States fighting against, you know, the so-called, you know, the Iranians, which was the ancient Persians. That was a hell of a nation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get to talking about Artaxerxes. Have you seen that movie 300?
Mm-hmm.
Those were your Persians.
Right.
Right? Okay. Right. Brother say you meant Iran. I figured that, brother. I figured that. You know what I'm saying? I figured that. It's a lot. You know what I mean? Right. You got to do the right. Get that brother a hand. You know? Okay, so now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, read Brother Prashad.
That the word of the Most High by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled.
Right, so we got a lot of these captivities, man. You will realize, man, that there was a lot of different prophets, you know what I mean, that was around, you know, doing those times, you know what I'm saying? You had Isaiah and certain captivities and things of that nature trying to warn the people, you know what I mean? Read.
The Most High stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom,
right,
and put it also in writing, saying, verse 2, thus saith Cyrus, king of Persia, the Most High God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth.
Right. Hey, that's heavy. You know what I mean? It's a heathen, man. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing, our power. You know what I mean? Because at that time in the earth, man, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them still got the records, right? To know that, our power. And they know what our weakness is, right? And what is our weakness? A lot of nations know that when we are not following our God, our power, that's how we can be infiltrated. You see what I'm saying? And now, we so completely destroyed to this day, man, that it's really a miracle if you in here and you have been able to recognize your culture and recognize your past, even though it's really just mathematics, you know what I'm saying? Because it's historical. It ain't like the information we have that is just, some light hitting, you know what I'm saying? Now, light might have hit you at one point, but it was to come in here and start to receive the information, you know what I mean? Because all of these things are written down, we know these things historically, man, that we are the true Jews, and that we are the people that's in this Bible. Don't mistake it, man. When you read this Bible, you know what I mean? We got the sister Kenyatta checking in, Yahweh Shema, the third by Shema Shad from Norfolk, Virginia, checking in Shema, you know what I mean? But don't mistake it, man. We are the people, of this Bible. You know what I mean? We are the chosen people of God. And I know it's hard to believe, you know what I mean, with the condition that we're in, man. I see it all the time. I be getting so upset. A lot of times, man, I see a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because, when you come in the truth, and that veil been taken off your eyes, man, and you see a lot of things, it vexes your spirit, And I'm going to tell you one thing I see. Me, myself, man, I grew up, in this Norfolk, Virginia area, right? So I remember a time, man, a lot of y'all might not believe it, that this area was all black. If a white person came up here, they had to go through a black person to be up here, right? But guess what's starting to happen now? You starting to see white people around. I never seen this. Out of all my time, like, it's weird. And it's been going on for a while. It didn't just happen overnight. Out there at Pop Place, they said this is a conservation area, right? And that was years ago. You would see that sign when you ride out there. But what they was telling you is basically, we're going to gentrify this area. And guess what's going on today? If you go out Pop Place right now, this place is all black. You go out there right now, you see white people jogging. You see them walking their dogs. And I get so irritated because it's like, damn, we don't got nothing no more. Now I don't know where to go in this city, and it's all black. Now, granted, there was a lot of crime and things of that nature going on, and it's probably a part of our punishment. We opened the door, you know what I mean, for Esau to come on in and infiltrate our neighborhood. And we still so oblivious that we don't recognize that, this is what's going on. It was never technically our neighborhood, but we was 90-95%, of in just this area. If you go back even further, the street that the school sit on, which is Church Street, they used to call this Little Harlem. As an imitation of New York City. It was lit up, clubs everywhere, jazz, clubs, and all black. Now you see Church Street is either kind of dessert or go down the other, you got a little white, man, they taking over, man. They taking over. And it's for me it's a sad sight to see because I see, yeah, we had a lot of problems, we had a lot of issues, we did. But I still rather be around us, you know what I'm saying? and to see these doubles, you know, they come in like they so much better. You know what I mean? You know, they so much better than me. But I had to think to myself one thing. I say, man, this was back in the 50s, in the 60s. You would be the same writer calling us outside our name. You ninjas. Same writer. Oh, you can't come here. Or, you know, go sit at the back of the bus, man. You know, or lynchings and things of this nature, man. You know what I mean? And, you know, I just think, man, being in the truth, man, that helped me to see that, man, you know, if there was no such thing, man, as the Most High, man, we would be in some big trouble. Because how will we get out of this? I went over there across the street, and I kind of opened the door for it. They was having a fest, you know, the Arab in there. I done seen families. The kids working there now. I was there when the fathers was working up in there. They don't even work up in there anymore. I remember when there was one boy that came. And guess how many they got now? 8. And guess how they got it? Off your black blood, sweat, and tears. And you know what? They don't even respect you. They look down on you. Right. They mock you. You know, and a lot of it because of our behavior, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of that due to just being ignorant and being destroyed. You know, as a people. But you ought to pray. And these people are getting rich, you know, off of the Chinese Jordan niggas go out to this place up over 2 decades. Don't nobody even know the people in there no more. The people that was originally there, they done left. They done got a bag and got up out of here. All for you, black man. You know, Judah specifically. You understand? And that sister said, I said, yeah, it's a little quiet right now. It's gonna be all right right now. We know the police outside. Oh, yeah, for half a day. That's what the Arab said. But the sister was smart enough to recognize, hold on, don't say that. That was racist. She didn't have all the math, but she was smart enough to know that what he said was, you know, but that's his mentality, even though they do try to act like that. Their children try to act like that. They think they are part of the hood. They done been out here so damn long. They was getting all the sisters pregnant back in the day, man. You know what I mean? They love to trick with our sisters, man. Right. They would never marry. You know what I mean? And, you know, you see the outright disrespect. You know what I mean?
It's lucky. If I could, sir, that's heavy what you just said, because I always bring that up about the Arab, you know what I'm saying, about how them Arabs be in our community. Yeah. They go and get their stuff that they sell in their store out of Walmart. Right. They don't even got a real, you know, contract with no real like production place. You know what I'm saying? With none of these companies, they'll go and take a van and go to Walmart or the dollar store, buy all the stuff they can and fill their shelves up. And then they'll charge us triple and quadruple the price of what it is in the regular stores. You know what I'm saying? And then once it gets too high and they see our sisters coming in, they always put them in the projects. Yeah. If you look at an Arab store, it's always near the projects. They want to keep it near the projects. Right. Because in the projects, that's where the poorest of our people live. Most of the poorest of our people live. Right. And when those sisters can't afford diapers, milk and stuff for their kids, that's when they tell them, come on to the bike show. Right. You know what I'm saying? And man, listen, man, that's crazy, man. That's heavy you brought that out, man.
Yeah, me, right? I go get that t-shirt there. I need something. Yeah, man, I need one now with a lie. I said, I need one for you. Nope. I have people that made you rich. And nigga, you can't even go in there and get a pack of balloons. Right. Once a year, they don't never have, a giveaway to the hood. Nothing. You know what I mean? But we'll sit there and kill each other and eat on each other and disrespect each other. The shooting going right around it, but somehow I don't recall an Arab ever being unalive. after all over 2 decades. But I couldn't even say how many Judas been in that over those same 2 decades. You understand? It's right there in that face. It's so disrespectful. It's a shame. You know, and I had to stress that because it just, I get pissed off every time I see it. You know what I mean? Okay, read.
Cuddle Khan. So, I'm going to start over verse 2. Thus saith King Cyrus, king of Persia, the Most High God of heaven have given me all the kingdoms of earth, and he have charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah.
Right. So the Lord, you know, put it on this particular kingdom, man. You know, once again, man, you know what I'm saying? What you need to recognize from this is that all throughout, you know, the Bible, we made a lot of mistakes, man. All y'all that are correct, man. He said they did sell blood to Costco. You know what I mean? You know. And but back to the scripture. You know, the Lord put on this, you know, the Lord is so merciful, man. You know, that he put on this particular kingdom's heart to not only recognize his power, but also to look out for us. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of our captivity, give us the ability to go back to Judah. But we was taken captive from by Nebuchadnezzar, the Babylonians. They burned, you know, I said, you know, we lied in ruins. They go back and build up, you know what I mean, the wall and build up the temple, things of that nature, man. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High is the same today as he was yesterday, right? And, you know, when we make mistakes, man, he's long stuff there. You know what I mean? He's still there, right, to pick up the pieces. If you were kicked. Remember that. Because even before me coming into this UPK, man, you know what I'm saying? I won't hold the name even this fight. With the destructive, you know what I'm saying, lifestyle that I was living. Right? So you ask the question, well, damn, you know, it's a lot of why he ain't gone right now, right? A lot of brothers dying young. You know what I mean? So what separated a lot of us from them? Let me tell you, me personally, not a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It sucks for the fact that the Most High, man, it had to be something. You know what I mean? Sparing me. And you know what? Now I'm being here, guess what? I can look at so many different incidents. Can't even remember them all. You know, there was so many. But I know there was the Most High, you know what I'm saying, that brought me to be able to, right even right now, you know what I'm saying, to be able to engage, you know what I'm saying, with brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? See, I know. You know what I mean?
I agree. So it comes. Verse 3. Who is there among you of all his people? His power be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem,
right,
which is in Judah,
right,
and build the house of the Most High Power of Israel,
right,
which is in Jerusalem.
Okay, you skip the parentheses for Salah. Right.
He is the power, which is in Jerusalem.
Right. So even these heathen, man, is recognizing our power, man. You know what I'm saying? Recognizing our God. You know what I mean? And the Lord put on his mind that, you know, God go ahead back. Because he know that the Lord gave me all the kingdoms of the earth. Your God gave me all the kingdoms of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. Your God gave a whole nother nation all the kingdoms of the earth. And he recognized them better than you do. And the Most High using him to give you the ability to go back and build up your nation and your land and your temple and things of that nature. You understand? And even now, man, we been here under this oppressor, man, Esau, man, It's really disrespect. And not only you saw all these heathens, man. The things that they doing to us, man. You know what I mean? And we don't even recognize it. Especially those of us get a few dollars. You know what I mean? Can't tell us nothing. But the thing of it is, you still riding around in the hood with whatever it is you got. I don't give a damn if it's a bit. Right? Why? Because what they over there fighting for oil. They got real wealth. They got real land. Child, natural resources. You know what I'm saying? They own everything. They charge you for water. They charge you for clothes. You wearing their clothes. They Gucci and Fendi. You understand? Louis. So, I mean, what do you really got, bro? You still renting from it, or you got a mortgage, right? But that mortgage 30 years. You don't pay that mortgage, they still come get that house. And even if you pay it off, by the time you pay off the house regular, then you pay the property tax. And Virginia is anyway. You know, our people don't even know wealth, man. That's why we get a little few hours to get us a car in a house, man. We just strapped. But really, you just in debt because you didn't pay $600,000-700,000 for the house. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You didn't pay $100,000 for that big coupe. You finance. You in debt, bro. That's credit. So you owe them it. You don't even understand money. You don't even understand real wealth. We've been destroyed, man. Okay, we got young man Shep in the house. Hey, Shalom, your whole body change the thought. Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing? We got the sister Nizam. Nah, man, checking in, man, from New Orleans, Louisiana. You know what I mean? Possession and peace officer of 5K Mother Bar. You know what I mean? Checking in, man, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Hey, Shalom, says how you? Okay. Most High in Christ. All right, read.
Come, verse 4. And whosoever remaineth in any place where he should journey, let the men of his place help him with silver and with gold and with goods and with beasts, beside the free will offering for the house of power that is in Jerusalem.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that king was allowing this man to go back out of that captivity, right? To rebuild the house of the Most High. Let's go to 7 real fast, just to reiterate that captivity.
Verse 7. Also Cyrus the king brought forth the vessels of the house of the Most High, which Nebuchadnezzar had brought forth out of Jerusalem,
right,
and had put them in the house of his God.
Right. So Nebuchadnezzar, which was the king of Babylon, took all the our precious vessels out of our temple, the treasures and things that we had. And it just goes to show you, man, that these heathens had robbed us blind. A lot of the riches that they got was our riches. See what I'm saying? They robbed us, but when you in war, that's how it goes. That's why you ain't gonna get free like the Christian church kind of thing, singing and dancing and marching. You know what I mean? Only way you're gonna get free is through war. You think these people are gonna just let you go? Did Pharaoh let the people go? Moses told him, what did he say? Let my people go. Did he do it? What did it have to come down to? Them getting drowned. He brought his whole army out to get drowned in the Red Sea. He was prepared to go to the war. That's the only way you go get free of a nation, man. All that old, you got Otwald Father Side checking in. Yahweh Shema, talking about Shalom Shap, Norfolk, Virginia, Shalom Fit. You ain't gonna get free singing and dancing, man. Turning the other cheek, loving your enemy. It's time to stop loving your enemy. It's time to start loving yourself and loving your people. You understand? You Christian pastors, man, y'all gonna be doomed, man. Keep teaching brothers and sisters. It's foolish. All that loving the white man is over with. God love everybody, man. He don't. Let's go to Ezra chapter 10. He just said what was going on from the Kings and the Chronicles. You know what I mean? Now hitting Ezra, you know, the different captivities and things of that nature. So we're gonna hit a little bit on 10, man. You know what I'm saying? Then we're gonna get into the, you know, the real you know, shebang of the lesson, you know what I mean? You know? Ezra chapter 10 started verse 1. I thought about the shot.
Gonna come. Ezra chapter 10, verse 1. Now when Ezra had praised, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of power, there assembled unto him out of Israel,
right,
a very great congregation of men and women,
right,
and children,
right.
For the people wept very sore.
Okay, and very sore. Here we go again. Repentance. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep reading to find out what. Verse 2.
And Shechaniah, the son of Jehiel, one of the sons of Elam, answered and said unto Israel, we have trespassed against our power,
right,
and have taken strange wives of the people of the land.
Right, see that? They took strange wives. So the Lord done touched Cyrus, right? After the Babylonians that took us captive, you know what I'm saying? He done touched Cyrus to allow us to re-raise it. And what did we go do? Get to sleeping with the strange wives. See what I'm saying? And they was having children, madam wives as well, right? So it might have been more about they didn't know they language or their culture no more. That's why Nehemiah, you know what I mean? They was down on the kid, they forgot the language. That's a verse that we go to express the importance of the Hebrew, you know, lots of one productions. Because at that time it was a hell of a thing if you didn't know your own language. You know what I mean? Which we are speaking a bastard's tongue right now. We speak in English, you know, we don't know our own tongue, you know a language, which I believe the scripture in Deuteronomy will tell you that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't even know our own damn language. Don't even know our culture. You know what I'm saying? You know, we need to realize, man, how much of a destroyed people that we are. You know what I mean? And some of us, man, so damn destroyed without remedy. You see what I'm saying? You know, so now I was somebody talking about me on the side, I'm a dog checking in from out of Vibe Beach, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, so now my pop cop, you know what I'm saying? Jameer checking in as well, man, from Vibe Beach. Hey, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? How you doing, brother? All right? Yeah. Okay. All right. You know, and we just realize, man, you know, how downtrodden we are, man. You know what I mean? But you know, sometimes I believe, you know, I pretty much, you know, we've been living in hell so long that we are, what they call it, desensitized to it. We don't realize it. The one thing about Black Square is we try to make the best out of everything. You know, we good at that. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something, man. You make living in the hood, man, like we living in Beverly Hills. You understand? I remember back in the day, the young girls, they don't really do it now, but man, them sisters back in the day had a project household, man, be laid out, man. You walk up in that jump, you forgot you was in a project house, man. You know what I'm saying? It was so clean, man. Immaculate, stripping and waxing the floor, the furniture was nice. You know what I mean? You know, you had a lot of drug boys in the project. They got a damn Lexus outside in the project. You know what I'm saying? Mercedes-Benz. You know what I mean? Jaguar. You know, out the hood. Brother come out, man, you know, look like he was a damn superstar. You know what I mean? Gold chains all around his neck. You know what I mean? Nice shades on. Nice clothes, man. You know? That's how we do. That's how we do, man. That's why they say we the poorest group, but we spend the most money. somehow. So the nation able to capitalize and get rid of any other need. It's amazing. You know, that's why I heard, you know, nation that ever had us in captivity became a thriving nation. Egypt, you know what I mean? These here Persia, you know what I mean? The Syrians, you know what I'm saying? The Romans. And they still got us because we're in an extension of Rome. Right? Hitler say, y'all done took God's crown Jew. He knew Hitler. And he knew they said, you Jews, damn, y'all came back, you left black, you came back white. They took our land over there. And they still over there now. See, we don't got no land. We behind enemy line. Brothers and sisters, this is not your land. This is your captivity. You understand? You behind enemy line. And what's been keeping us even behind enemy line? The same way the Lord touched this Persian king, right? I ain't gonna say we touched Esau so much, but we still here. I believe it's in the book of Ezekiel. It says, as long as you see the sun, the moon, and the stars, you know Israel is still here. That's a sign that we still here. The Israelites have not went anywhere. The Israelites are still here. The chosen people of God are still here. And we still thrive. That's what I was watching the other night, man. It came on such an old cartoon movie, Baby Steve. He said, we don't die, we multiply. They can't get rid of us. Because I'm going to tell you something. You told the business thing. You know what I mean? If you behind enemy line, you got to think, man, what's really stopping you people, man, from completely, utterly annihilating you? You behind enemy line. We got weapons, but not the kind they got. You know what I mean? And we don't even know who our enemy is. Our guns pointing at each other. Right? That's how you know it is a God. Mm-hmm. You know what stopped Donald Trump from saying, hey, look, man, just started detaining and killing all the Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Look what he did to the Hispanic brothers and sisters. That really was light work. That's what he did. Think about it. Because he could just not summon the national guard and just start, look, like everything you see. And then we in all our wars. And not only that, giving his people the green light, the good old boy, which was really ICE. And mixed in with that, we know it was some of our own kind. But we always been against each other. You know what I'm saying? We always been against each other, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes the enemy, man, ain't always another race. Sometimes it's your own. Right? We got Tower Bob taking in Snarly House, somebody thought about sitting me on the side, taking in from Charles City, man. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and hit Nehemiah 4. Nehemiah chapter 4. Let's get it. Nehemiah chapter 4, man. We're going to run through this chapter here, man, and close class. Man, let me get my phone. Let me get a time check the trouble shop. It's 8:09, too. Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe I'll turn this on. Thank you. Verse, we started at verse 1 on Nehemiah chapter 4.
Book of Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 1. But it came to pass that when Sanballat heard that we builded the wall, he was wroth.
Right.
and took great indignation and mocked the Jews.
Right. So in the time of Nehemiah, man, you know what I'm saying? They came back after we had repented from the time of Ezra, you know what I mean? We still in the same captivity under the Persians. Now, Artaxerxes, you know what I'm saying, is the king by now. That same king we seen in 300. And they also talk about him in the Maccabees, you know what I mean? What was that? Maccabees 1, we talk about Alexander the Great. And all of that. I believe Alexander the Great, the one who took the throne from the Persians, one had to say, hold on, let me go to it. Let me go to it. First Maccabees and let me see something here. Yeah, let me see something here. 1 second. All right. Yep, let's go to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, real quick. Maccabees. Yeah, this is a little bit more history to add to this. You know what I mean?
First Maccabees,
So,
1.
right. In the book of Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
And it happened after that Alexander,
Right.
son of Philip.
Let's talk about Alexander the Great. Okay? Right. Read.
The Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim,
Right.
had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
See that? He smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes. Right? Read.
That he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
That's the recap of Chittim. Right there. Right there. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, put that in your you know, in your hold on, let me see what it's talking about King Artaxerxes too. My section
Like it's Xerxes was in, if I may. Xerxes is in, I want to say, either Esther or Ruth.
Right. So you understand that he does talking about
He is Esther.
in Esther.
Esther 1.
Wait, let's go to Esther 1 then.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Asuris. This is Asuris, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 127 provinces. That in those days, when the king Asuris sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media,
Right.
the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Right. You know what I mean? That's King Artaxerxes right there, man. You know what I mean? That same guy that was in King that reigned that was in that movie 300. You know what I'm saying? And he reigned after Darius. But we know we've been reading about him here in you know what I'm saying, Nehemiah. You know what I mean? So we see the Bible, you know, correlating and you know, what we like to say the Bible like a river. You know what I mean? It connects. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know the book is true, man. You know what I mean? That's how you know this book ain't no, you know, this history, man. It's like, you know, just no mumbo jumbo. Like a lot of people like to say with the white man was that, right? This and that. Nah, brother. Nah. The Lord left us to hold the company.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, sir, if I'm not mistaken, that's 3 generations we done read, because I think Cyrus was Darius' father and Darius was Xerxes' father.
Right.
So I think that if I'm not mistaken,
right.
If I'm not mistaken,
definitely reigned in that.
They all came like right in that order.
Right.
It was Cyrus, Darius, and then Xerxes.
Right. And even with that being said, now you got to look at the years.
Right.
How long?
Right.
You know, what happened? You're right. And but we know from that it went Maccabees telling us right to Alexander the Great. Now he a known Esau, he definitely, talks about Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To tell you how he died and he broke up his kingdom into.
Right.
Then we talked about the Maccabees. The Maccabees itself is a history because that was the royal lineage of Israel, which ended up being the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They went off. Now the Maccabees, the original ones, was warriors.
Right.
Judah Maccabees, that was royalty, but they ended up going off down the line. Right? They turned into the Pharisees and the Sadducees.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Maccabean dynasty.
Right.
See that? There's some of them still around to the day. And same ones that's been your Jesse Jackson, your Martin Luther King, your Al Sharpton,
right,
your Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Guess you could throw, Puff Daddy part of that. You know what I mean? Even going back, W. Du Bois. You know what I'm saying? These are groups too now. I have did a class on that. So we always talk about Esau, but you cannot forget about these Pharisees and these goddamn Sadducees. Because they got a buffer between us and Esau. See, Esau lift them up to make sure that he keep us in check. That's what you got to remember. See what I'm saying? He give them a spot. That's why them same ones want to get rid of Christ. They knew he was Christ. But they say, look, we keep letting him go on. He's gonna make the Romans gonna get mad at us and take because they had a job to do. If they wanted to stay in power, they had to keep the rest of the nation in check. These wicked leaders will allow drugs to be put into the community. These wicked leaders that would try to rise up will come out and they try to quell the situation. Your NAACPs and all of that. You understand? And the mega say fat, that's small, but that's a part of it too. You chop dogs out of part of what they call the boule. But there's a lot of other organizations and groups that trickle down from that boule. A lot of people get caught up in these degrees and these sci-fi fraternities and into that Christian church, and they take on that type of a mentality, and they look down on their people. And I'm gonna tell you something I've seen, because guess what? You know what I mean? I was around. My brother Yahweh in the building, checking in from Norfolk, Virginia. Shalom, Yahweh Shemana Thurba Shemana Shah, Uncle Yahweh checking in. We have the property officer 50 Yahweh checking in from Norfolk, Virginia. Shalom, sis. And we had the building right there called the Murray Center. I believe I told this story before. It's called the Murray Center. You got the Murray Center right here, you got a street right here, and you got the projects right here. Back in the day when people was reading the newspaper, you would read the paper. At the bottom in very small print, they would tell you they were holding meetings over here at this Murray Center.
Right.
Hey, guess who's over there? The NAACP.
Right.
But you be right across the street in the projects and never know that they holding meetings over there at least once a month.
Right.
You will never know. Because they want your poor black stuff up in there.
Right.
If you were to go to one of them meetings, which I get a tip, man, it's nothing but elite style type educated blacks. And guess what? They do not mess with the poor. I got good.
Let's like it, sir, if I could. What you're bringing out is so heavy because when you were just saying about like how you got the high level Negroes, like right. NAACP, almost all of them NCAA people was in Greek fraternity.
Right.
It's a known fact that under Greece, we was the Greeks. And when we look at the definition of it, it said Israelites who put on the customs of the Grecians. You know what I'm saying? Of those people.
Right.
And if you and what our people fail to realize, like this is what it means to worship in spirit and truth. You could see that spirit
Right.
On our people, the ones that's higher up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Martin Luther King, he was in the fraternity.
Right. Right.
Jesse Jackson, he was in the fraternity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Al Sharpton was just a street nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A street nigga that was a police, police informant.
Right.
And I think he got ties to a fraternity.
Yeah.
Some type of fraternity. He may even be Boule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, I mean, like, the thing about it is, in all of them people, if you think about anybody in your family that is in a fraternity, look how they live. They have totally brainwashed themselves in American culture and Christianity.
Right. And that's so heavy, right? That you bring that up, right? Because I got a cousin. Now, don't get me wrong. When we grew up, I didn't know what was going on. But now, coming to the truth, I'm going to tell you, it's heavy. So, Uncle Doc, man, now he definitely did a accomplishment. He was a black doctor at Garden College when I was a little boy back in the 80s. And he was living, very good. If you got a good report card and this and that, he would kick some money. Christmas coming around, time to hear it was socks and draw and stuff like that for everybody. They used to do essays because he would be in control of the family reunion. Now, speed up. All along, he got brothers, he got nephews. They in that Omega set. They wear that purple and gold. You always go see them with that emblem on. They in that jump. Heavy, right? Catch on what I'm about to say. So you get that good report card. You write that essay. He will look out for you. Now keep in mind, with these groups, they do a lot of grooming from young. Same way they did in the Greeks with the gymnasiums and all of this and that. Right? Now, if you group, you see certain one of the bad people, you might say, I'm up there. I'm a lawyer, doctor, an educator, whatever. They got a family member. See the young kid that makes you break. If he achieve, I'm gonna take him under my wing and try to set him up. But if he ain't doing that in the way, I don't mess with you. I ain't gonna do a damn thing. You know what I mean? So I was seeing that from a young age. Now I still, he did a good for like he a black doctor. Now he own a church now. He got his own doctor. Right. He got a little older man. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But he definitely assimilated into that, culture. And they had a mentality of I'm better than you. And if you ain't doing what I'm doing, I mean basically you ain't SHIT. That's what it is. I'm on the rocket with you if you're doing something, if you're getting money. You know what I mean? If you got something going on. You ain't doing that, I'm not dealing with you. So it was always a thing, man, that you got to achieve. Right. If you ain't achieved, right. And that's what you got, like Jay-Z. Brother, somebody, I think it was Captain Sacco, brother. If you ain't got Jay, you don't mess with poor black people. No, you don't. If you ain't getting no money, man, hey, look, he ain't dealing with you. And that's how it is with a lot of our people, man. And, they don't deal with poor blacks. Period. They not for the people. They not for the poor. But Christ said, I came for the meek of the earth. You see what I'm saying? People like myself, people like, you. People like, those who coming into the chat. Those of us that ain't got a lot. See what I'm saying? That's why they ask me, why are you sitting with them publicans and sinners? Christ said, well, he come for those who were already well, brother, came for the sick. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you ain't supposed to be sitting with you a drug addict or went over. He ain't got nothing. Oh no. And that's that spirit, man. That's from a whole lot of our people, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, in the Christian church. And those fraternities. Got a little good job, government job, making 100,000 a year. You got to watch that. And that's why we try to take that off our people, get them out there, and bring them on into here, right? But you still got to be careful of that spirit. Because, I mean, this thing ain't nice. A lot of times, somebody like me, it ain't magic. I was living a certain type of lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? That's why they say you get 6 months to rid yourself of that world. You know what I mean? Because a lot of us had a lot of things on this, man, that you might see a sister seem a little loose just coming in, right? Oh, don't think because she done picked up the Bible now, all of a sudden she done turned into the goddamn Mary, Virgin Mary or something, you know what I mean? Don't think that, huh? This brother was out there running around in the streets and this and that. Don't think all of a sudden now, because he done came in here reading the Bible, he's some upright, he done turned into Christ. Brother was in that church real heavy. And like we were talking with the degrees and all, got that certain spirit. It takes time. Right. You see what I'm saying? You got to keep it real. We tell you all the time in here, Commander, this ain't magic. It might can happen to some people. Maybe some people can't crack this Bible open and repent. You got well for 9 in the house, man. Your house is smart, thought about smart. How you doing, sis? You know what I'm saying? It's wild to see. But you got some brothers and sisters right coming here. They might, everybody move different. You know what I mean? But one thing and two things for sure. We all got to get that goddamn filter off us when we first come up in here. Maybe some of you was a little bit more righteous than myself. You understand? But you got to get that filter off. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes there's a process. You know what I mean? What if you don't think that you're more than what you deceiving yourself. Sometimes you get a little overly righteous. I just came out the world and started reading the Bible for 6 months. I think I'm goddamn, you know what I mean? I done the right. You see? I'm holier than thou. You know what I mean? Oh, I got it all together. You don't deceive yourself, bro. So when you take that fall, oh man, that ain't gonna be that nice. So let me stay home. Right? Read.
You want me to go back to Nehemiah or?
Oh yeah, we go back to Nehemiah.
Yeah, come. Verse 2, Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 2. And he spake before his brethren in the army of Samaria and said, what do these feeble Jews?
Right. See how they talk about it? These people think we weak. You know what I'm saying? Read.
Will they fortify themselves?
Right. Will they fortify them? They mock you. I'm gonna tell you something. Other nations take us for a damn joke. Whether it's something you know it or not. Our brothers and sisters in the world, they don't know it because they still perform the way they perform right around us. And they don't really look at you laugh and snicker. Mm-hmm. You don't even know it. We is the biggest joke that they is.
Right.
It's a shame, man. I'm telling you. And, we look at that, they look at us like some clowns. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we'll sit up there and call each other clown. Oh, that nigga, he's a clown. He's a man. Right? But the goddamn other nations looking at you like some clowns and some lame. They don't got no respect for you.
Right.
Read.
Will they sacrifice?
Right.
Will they make an end in a day?
Right.
Will they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish which are burnt?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they had already, we had already destroyed. So they said, what y'all gonna do? We try to put all this back. But y'all ain't gonna, But that show you how much we destroyed. We don't see it. But these other nations, they know the condition that we in.
Right.
It's such a low condition, man. And it's crazy, man. If it weren't for the Most High, Yahweh Shai, we would. That's why I say we would be in trouble. You know what I mean?
It's like it, sir. It's heavy what you breaking out because you know what you looking at right now. What we reading,
right?
Where it say will they fortify themselves? Will they secure themselves? Will they defend themselves from an attack? That's how they look at us right now.
Yeah.
Can they defend themselves from Rick Child?
Right.
They can't do it. So guess what? He could unallow their child. They say, will they sacrifice? Meaning, will we serve our Lord? No, they can't. They don't know him. They got to serve white Jesus. And then when they go on and say, will they make an end in a day?
Right.
You understand? Like we can't even get rest.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, like, and the thing about it, like, when they go on and saying, can they revive the stones out of the heaps of the rubbish? That's the crazy part because that ain't nothing but all the Black Wall Streets.
Right.
That's every black neighborhood ever built.
Right.
And that's what they did. They destroyed, like, and it's so heavy what you're bringing out because this is what it means to worship the Lord in spirit and in truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's crazy. And just to bring one more thing out, if I could. So remember today, Carmelo Anthony, they just found that brother guilty, man, of first-degree murder, man.
Yeah.
They found that young brother guilty. And it's all kinds of, like, they over there riding.
Right.
They fighting. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff going. But the thing about it is, like, and if I could, sir, and I'm gonna land my plane, sir. Like, our people just don't understand, like, the time we in right now.
Right.
Like, these people is about to really start doing a lot of the things what you just brought out tonight.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? With these kings, Donald Trump is a king.
Right.
He is in the spirit. He is in the spirit of these same people that we reading about right now.
Right. No question.
These people,
even more
right. And these people know that they got the power over our lives.
Right.
And until we show them different, man, listen, man.
But also with that though, what I mean, they know that we can do these things. You know what I mean? But it's a fear. And that we'll see that as we go on. Really. See, when I'm intimidated by somebody, I got to stay at you. Why? Because I'm fearful of you being able to overtake me.
Right.
That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because if I ain't worried about you, I ain't worried about if you can fortify yourself. You know what I mean? I know you can. They sitting there mocking you. Why are you worried about mocking somebody that can't? But like you said, with the Black Wall Street, what was we able to do? And so many other communities that we have. And what did they do? And we get this right out of state. So we can do these things. We had bus services, cab services. We were doing our own thing. They went and bombed Oklahoma. You understand? We had a lot of different communities got up underwater now and all of these different things. You know what I'm saying? And so that's because I was going to actually, bring up more in detail those things as I was reading this. So we are able to fortify ourselves. We've done it. We've survived a lot. Like on the contract, like when you taught a heavy class. We are great. We are the great. The Lord said you above all the people of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So we able to do a lot of things, man, and that's a part of my message tonight. You know what I'm saying? You don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. I don't give a damn who it is. You know what I'm saying? It's he and they cannot validate you. You got to stand in the truth of knowing who you are. Right. They trying to make you with that what they were saying. They for these Jews or people, they trying to destroy your self-esteem.
Right.
Well, that's another what we do in modern day. They ain't nothing but drug dealers and crackheads and see what I'm saying? But guess what? Like Commander Junior Hunter said, you go to the book of Susanna, right? You know what I mean? That's what they call a male, I believe, factor. When you fall into that, I'm not that unless I do that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's not who we are. You only that if you fall into that. Now you make the things that they say are true.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Why you think the Lord brought us back these scriptures so that we can fortify ourselves?
Okay.
So that we can stop being weak. You was weak when you was in the damn world.
Okay.
But the Lord bringing you back in here to do what? To strengthen you. He said, I'm raising up what? A great and what? Exceeding honor. You understand? Learning how about to protect about the thought, you know what I'm saying? Also, shot checking in from the aisle, man. Richmond, Virginia. Shalom, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I salute you already, but I hit you again. You know what I mean? You know, verse 3.
Come. Now Tobiah the Ammonite was by him, and he said, even that which they build, if a fox go up, he shall even break down their stone.
Right, well, he said, damn fox will go up there and break the wall down. You know, trying to say, God ain't worth of nothing. You can't build up nothing. You know what I mean? But they really scared that you will build up something. You see what I'm saying? Read.
Verse 4. Hear, O our power, for we are despised.
Right, we despised. They hate us, man. You know what they call it? A perpetual hatred. Mm-hmm. That this white man got for you, but the Christian church got you still what? Trying to love these people. Trying to love every goddamn day. But stop loving your God and loving your people. You understand? Read.
Come. And turn their reproach upon their own head, and give them for a prey in the land of captivity.
That even back then, we was praying for the downfall of the enemy like we do now. Right? They were doing that in slavery. See what I'm saying?
Come.
Man, we've been here for a long time, man. It's time to get up out of here. You understand? It's time for us to escape this place. You know what I mean? And the only way we're going to do it is bad, you know what I mean? And like it said in Revelation, he who have taken into captivity shall go into captivity. Right? And they know that they got what? But a short time. So now they're going to start running down on the nation of Israel. Like you said, the pressure about to get more hard. Right now, we got the war going on over there, you know what I'm saying? And what they do is tracking them down over here as far as with the fuel, the gas. I mean, things are high. You can't even hardly go back a couple of items, man. You spend between, you spend $100, $200. And you ain't even got nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got the man be more on point. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like you said, realize what's going on, but we still take a trip. Sister living that hot girl summer, like in the days of Noah, still giving in marriage and, you know what I mean, having sex and all these different type of things, running around loose, still out here, project about to fight each other, two projects from another, about to unalive each other, you know what I mean, still hustling towards one another. We still caught up, and we still blind. In such of a time like this. You got to raise these young children. What do you think they about to face? Some child 10 years old or below. What do you think the type of world that they about to enter into? Huh? Our parents didn't prepare us for the world that we was about to face. And look what happened to a lot of us. So what in the world do you think gonna happen? And here we are, we're in 2020 at the brink of World War III. You got to wake up. Wake up. Read.
Come. Verse 5. And cover not their iniquity.
Right.
Let not their sin be blotted out from before thee.
Right.
For they have provoked thee to anger before the builders.
Right. Verse 6.
So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together.
Right.
Unto the half thereof, For the people had a mind to work.
See that? People had a mind to work, man. They didn't let those things stop them. See what I was saying? They didn't let with the enemy, you know, the narratives that they put out there for us to fall into. They did not let that stop them from building. They had a mind to work. It's the difference between the work and your slavery. Your slavery is your slavery. And the work is the work, which is the thing that you do, you know, and here in the UPK. For as teacher class, staff, young staff, all of these different things. Whatever it is you do, passing out flyers, doing videos, you know, things of that nature. Social media. Certain brothers are better at certain things than other brothers. That's fine. You understand? If you my brother, ain't no competition with you or what you do. You understand? I was taught to play my position and stay in my lane.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's quite offensive. Each one help one. Why would you try to rise above me without helping me? If I got a link to get some money, I'm going to put my brother on to getting some money. You understand? If I know something my brother don't know, I'm going to put him on to what I know. Not try to take what I know that I'm better at with him than try to shine above him. What type of brother is that? That's what they're doing out there. It's a cutthroat world. You understand? Mm-hmm. What they say in the street, they say in the street, if I ride, you ride. If I shine, you shine.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
How everybody else shining, but can't nobody else shine? Huh? Now what you gotta think, if you shining your brother, what they say, you gotta feed the what? The wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You ever heard that before?
Because
if you don't feed the wolves off of that crowd, what's gonna happen?
The wolves gonna eat you.
The wolves gonna eat your ass. It's a lot. See the street, you know what I'm saying?
So like it, sir, we can end the class on that. So long.
Huh? Man, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Huh? Read.
Verse 6. So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together unto the half thereof, for the people had a mind to work. Verse 7. But it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians,
see that? The Arabians, them damn Arabs, right? Read.
And the Ammonites,
was that the Chinese?
Con,
right?
And the Ashdodites.
It might be the Jewish man. I'm not, don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? Read. I know there's Amalek to them.
Heard that the walls of Jerusalem were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped.
Right.
Then they were very wroth.
You see that? They heard you starting to build. You starting to get yourself together. That's why you see in the scripture in Ezekiel, it said that they seen a great and they see the army and what? Field fell upon it. You know what I mean? Just to say fact, no time crazy. You see what I'm saying? They don't want you to come up. Black man, Hispanic man, Native American Indian man. They're gonna get scared. Then the breach. That breach. We got to look that up. We got to figure out what this breach in the wall is. Because that's very important. Right? The breach is like a hole in the wall, something that's broken within that wall. Right? It's a weak spot. Mm-hmm. So, as a nation, we can't have a weak spot. As an individual, you can't have a weak spot. Because guess what? If you continue to allow that spot to be weak and you don't stop up that hole, it's going to destroy the whole wall. Mm-hmm. And they say when they found out that they had eventually stopped up the breaches, that they got very wroth. They got upset. They got mad. You understand? But see what you got to know too, when you in this work, man, they don't want it, Satan don't want it to happen. So even spiritually, right? Things are gonna come at you, man, to stop you, to push you back, you understand, from continuing to move forward. But you got to have a mind to work, meaning you got to persevere and push through that. You can't let nothing stop you. I don't care what it is. The Lord told us to have a mind to work. The Lord told us that we are above all people. The Lord told us that we were chosen. The Lord told us that we were a special people. You understand? And if anything causes you to feel or be less than that, then whatever it is, it ain't right. And you don't go for that. You continue to build. Right. You continue to be great. You understand? Oh, see how this Camelo case is folded out of weak spots. Our folks love their right. Get a brother a hand. Because I do love the goddamn brother. Love him to death. You know, it's so heavy he bring that out because they bring me back to something I wanted to point out. I was talking to, you know, man, a family who was very close to me. And I was upset about all these damn Edomites. And they was upset at me because I'm upset, but they need to change it. They need it. But what we gonna have? What we gonna have for us? Why I got to see? Why they couldn't have just cleaned up the filth and still left everything for us? They cleaned up the filth and let it go on for a while to destroy us. Then they use it as a reason to kick us out. Because now they want this area back. So that project about to go, Curry Park about to go. They done already decided to integrate Huntersville and Park Place. That's what we call uptown. Town where the park gone already. They done told that down. Roberts Park and Bowling Park gone up the street where Briar Creek and all that at. Marshall Manor. See, I'm a native, you know what I'm saying? You understand? You know what I mean? I see what they doing. Read, public shop.
Verse 8, and conspire all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it.
See that? See that? Something trying to hinder you, brother. Something trying to hinder you, sister. And if all these nations coming and compiling together, you got the Arab there. What's that, the Ammonite over there? Huh? Huh? That's right around there. And Esau definitely all around. And the police cars, and your damn show got them other time Negroes helping them out. And they all conspiring to come together to do what? Destroy you, black man, Hispanic man, Native American Indian man. You see? You got to wake up, see what's going on. I know everybody's so slick, you know what I mean? You out there getting a little money, driving around in your Benz with the 3M. You slick. You know what I mean? But these people trying to put us under, man. They trying to take us out. They woke. They got an agenda. While we still sleep, doing whatever it is that we doing out here in the community. While you off at Jamaica, Mexico, taking a damn trip, had a hot girl summer vacation. These people plot, contrive how to destroy it. And you already destroyed because you're over there in Mexico, Jamaica, with a bikini thong on, shaking your hand all over the place. Supposed to have a man at home. You destroy it, man. know what I'm saying? Brothers too. You know what I mean? We destroyed. And we got to wake up, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? Right. To say yes to DLC. Right. You know what I'm saying? We got to wake up, man. Read about Chuck.
Come on. Verse 9. Nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our power and set a watch against them day and night because of them.
Heavy. But they say, oh, watch. What is that? For the Hebrew silence. Shema. In the Bible. You got to be on watch, man. Why? Because the person is constantly at us. And if you sleep for 1 minute, if you got a breach in the inside, something that you ain't cleaning up or that you ain't, I mean, it will take you out. You got to keep your head on the swivel. And I'm talking about those of us in the truth. You know what I mean? They sleep out there in the world. We know that. You know what I mean? Anything you got that ain't right with, you know what I mean? You got to stop that reach up. You got to strengthen that weakness, right? You got to keep your own watch because Satan gonna try to come at you. That's his job. He will try to get you off focus because he want the work to cease. You might be a powerful brother in the truth. You might be a powerful sister in the truth. See, Satan see what you don't see, right? So he said, I got to get rid of him. I got to get rid of her. He go consult with the Most High. You know what I mean? Go ahead, don't kill him. Don't kill him. Put you to the test. Spiritual war. They don't watch, they don't shema. Exodus 15:3. What? The Most High is a man of war. So we got to put our warrior mindsets on. All right, Shadon, how about you? My brother, Officer Shadon, came in from Mid-Lothian, Virginia. Shadon. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on point, man. You got to stay focused. Whatever it is you grinding towards, do it. You know what I mean? You can do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, tell yourself in your mind, you say if you think big, you're gonna be big. You think small, you're gonna be small. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily believe in this book right here, right? But I believe in the concept. Mastery. You gotta begin to learn how to start to master ourselves. To have discipline. To fight our demons. To find out which weak. Pray to the Most High to strengthen us in those weak areas. So those weak areas don't get bigger. It was a scripture. I forget where it's at. But it talked about the little foxes in the holes or something like that. But what the scripture is saying is that all of these little things that you got going on, that's just like if you take a wall or a dam, right? You know what I'm saying? Off out of dam, like most side crate. You take a wall. They got that little breach in it, that little hole. That water keep pounding against that little hole. What's gonna happen? It's gonna get bigger and bigger, and the wall is gonna come crashing down. You know what I'm saying? We got to dig deep with the self-examination and get into some heavy prayer, some fasting. You know, you got to stay focused. Is it courage? Especially as this world begins to, fall down around us. You know, with Donald Trump in the chair, the things that's going on in the earth, we got to glimpse of it thanks to the Most High. You understand? We got the spiritual eyes on the world. We can see things. See, they out there, they can't see in the world. They blind as a bat. They can see, but they can't see. They can hear, but they can't hear. The thing that we talking about in this class right now, you go out there and tell the average brother, sister in the world, they're gonna look at you like, what are you talking about? Because it's not really penetrating, you understand, their mind of what's going on. But the Most High has allowed us to what? Allow this scripture to what? Penetrate our mind. Right? And we got to be very, very, thankful for that. You know what I mean? Okay. And take advantage of that. You know what I mean? Know who you are, man. Your validation is of the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Don't let nobody rob you of that. You know what I mean? Nobody. And if they try, they dead wrong. You get away from it. You know what I mean? Never try to make another brother or sister feel, you know what I mean?
Right.
What type of poop crap is that? You know what I mean? You encourage them, man, because if you, most people are not strong enough. They need that extra uplifting. And it will cause them to go some more, right? That's what a good leader would do. Going to build up the people around them. Because they are a reflection of you. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Most side crazy. You know what I mean? I just got to get up. You know what I mean? Like that was always the thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Even certain women that did, even about in the world anyway, right? You want what I used to like to try to teach them, to tell them something. Now the women today, and I didn't know nothing, but still doing okay because of something I might have told them. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers I might have had with me, you know what I mean? I try to build them up, feed them. If I'm eating, you eat. Well, I don't come from that. You know what I mean? That ain't how it go. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know nothing. Read. Public the shot.
Verse 9, nevertheless, we made our prayer unto our power instead of watching against them day and night because of them. Verse 10. And Judah said, the strength of the bearers of burdens is decayed.
Right. The strength of the bearers that bear the burden, they strength decayed, right? Read.
And there's much rubbish.
Right.
So that we are not able to build the wall.
See that's a self-esteem thing there. Sometimes we get in our mind, man, I can't do this, man. Man, what's the point of me trying? You know what I'm saying? I might as well just, I'm tired of this. I can't take no more. See the discouragement? See the mind of discouragement? Now you done told yourself, what? But that ain't another Lord. That's Satan. Right? That's why really what did the scripture say? What spur one another.
Right.
To you know what I mean? So if you a leader, you constantly checking on them. We told Peter, feed, if you love me, feed my sheep. Mm-hmm. Keep them on point. See what I'm saying? You'd be surprised. That's why I went back to the Kings. We seen some of the corruptness we had and what it did with the people. But when we had the righteousness, what it did to the people, they followed in there. That's why they call them sheep, because the sheep do what? They just really they follow with the sheep kind of dumb, you know? That's why a lot of people in the world, they need a shepherd. It's a matter of will of men. You can't will in everybody. But when the Lord, it said the parable, the Most High lost that one sheep, what he do? He left the other 99, he went after that one sheep. He tried to get that sheep back. The parable of the, what's that, the lost son.
The prodigal son.
The prodigal son. His son came on back, he welcomed him back with open arms. You know, he ain't say, oh, you ain't nothing. You know what I mean? You should have stayed out there with them pigs, down there, the wallowing in the mud. And his brother was a little salty, but, you know, the father won't. Put that robe back on you. Put that signet ring back over, which is back then was a thing of royalty. That's how you would sign, the king was signing out of the love. Take that hat, wax, that candle wax, and he would put that signet ring. That was a royal thing. That purple robe, wearing purple back then was, you know, a sign of royalty. You understand? And this is a brother that came from out wilding in the mud. Same thing the Lord did with us when he brought us back. He woken up saying, well, open up. You know, he brought us in here to build us up. You know what I mean? You out there in the world might have been thinking a little lower back there. No, they bring us in here for that. He put that robe, that purple robe back on you. He put that gold signet ring back on you. He made you royalty again. You know what I mean? Ain't nowhere in the world where you come in here and be living less than that. You know, we're not gonna fall into the narrative. We done with that. We done that. Because now we know who we is. We fell into the narrative when we was out there in the world. You know what I'm saying? And there was a sad thing for a lot of us. A lot of us went through a whole lot out there, man. Was out there in that mud. Elijah Muhammad said he was so deep in the mud he couldn't see nothing but the white of his eyeball. You know what I mean? Not to bring that pedophile up, but I'm just saying, you know, it was a decent analogy, you know? A lot of us was out, went through a whole lot, you know what I'm saying, out there in that world, man. And as I look around, man, you know what I mean, this city, I see, man, the damage, the destruction, you know what I mean, of a lot of brothers and sisters. See, it's real out there. It's real out there. That's where the playing field is at. And the evil and the darkness is real. And if you ain't strong, and if you got them breaches in that wall, guess what's gonna happen to you? If you play with it too long, you will get sucked back in. They also I said just gave a young boy 35 years. 35 years. That's a long time.
In Salakia, sir. This was crazy. They just seen it. They just found the boy guilty today.
Right.
And sentenced them today.
Right.
That's crazy. He didn't even get they didn't even give him time to even deliberate and think about, what they could give him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The white man is the devil.
Yeah.
Man.
Right.
The white man is the devil. And what you bringing out is so heavy because, especially about about the part of weakness.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why, I'm one of them brothers, I'm an officer. I've been in this school for a while, since 2015. You understand what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. You can get weak.
Right.
You can get weak.
Oh yeah.
You understand? And I'm talking about so weak to the point where, you could be in the position you in,
right, and
still and crawl back to the shithole that you came from.
Right.
You understand? And the thing about it is that weakness, if you let that weakness stay, it will destroy you. It will make you fall.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? But it's that same thing that you're talking about right now, that welcoming them with arms and uplifting. You understand what I'm saying? That's the very thing that still got me here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because it was brothers, you know, that was there. You understand what I'm saying? It was brothers who, you know, who remember, you know, the things that the Lord did through me. And that's what they reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? To my not just to my shame, you understand, but to my strengthening. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, what you're bringing out is so heavy, and brothers and sisters gotta understand, man. Listen, man, you gotta get that weakness up out you. You gotta get it up out you. You understand? We all, hey, I know how people like this. Yeah, we all fall short of it, but we in the time now where we can't fall now. We can't fall short no more. It's over with. All the time for falling, that shit is over, man. Yeah. Now you got to stand. The Lord done gave us everything we need to stand. Like in the what is that? I think that's Romans when they talk about the whole armor of God. I think that's Romans.
I meant to go there too tonight too. I was gonna go. You know, the devil running around like a lion.
Right.
Seeing who he can devour.
Right.
And because of that, you got to do what? Put on them.
Put on their armor.
Put on the armor.
Right.
You need to go there. What time we got?
It don't matter, man. They can probably you can find it. We 6 minutes over.
Oh, is it? Oh,
we 6 minutes over.
Yeah, but well, you know what? I'm gonna end it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? To be holding nobody at the time. I ain't have my phone. You know what I'm saying? You know. So listen, man. Hey, look, the water, man. But like the brother said, the devil is running around like a lion, and he is trying to seek who he can devour. You know what I mean? Put that armor on, stay focused, stay strong, Israel. You know, Shalom. This ISUPK started 125th Street under command of your heart. Shalom for listening. Shalom. The help about to the Akia. The house Shimon, the third by Shalom. Shout to the Agwathan, man. Water for tuning in tonight. See you next time. And these are the security announcements read by Officer Yaikwa. You know what I'm saying? Sir. Right?
To our class, sir.
Oh, more time first.
These are ISUPK security announcements where the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives. What you're going to do, you're going to go to ISUPK.com, look up in the top left corner, there's a little blue button that says tithes and donations. That's where you're going to go, ISUPK.com, to pay your tithes and your donations. All right? The priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation is the memorial of the blowing the trumpets, right? It's going to be in the next couple months, around the month of September. So stay checking the bulletin boards and keep up with your camp leaders to see what you're going to need to rock out with that, right? Any brother want to come into the school and be a trooper, start wearing all black boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Any sister want to come into the school, well, a modest dress and have your head completely wrapped. With that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, I imagine. Sisters, Yeshabi, which means to be seated. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Matah, Sar, which means turn, face the sisters. Sisters, I imagine. Men of Israel, we're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak. Yahweh Shamal, the Thun, Bashim, Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Matah, class dismissed. Great.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel And also, please go to ISUPK.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're